A week before the wedding, Adrian asked me to lend my wedding dress to his white moonlight, his first love. It's Piper's first red carpet appearance since returning to the country. It has to be grand. She'll return the dress right after the event. Don't be so petty. My heart grew cold. 7 years of affection couldn't compare to his first love's career ambitions. So, I learned to be generous. I didn't want the dress anymore. And I didn't want the man anymore, either. Piper's first red carpet since coming back is crucial. Lend her the dress. Adrian's expression was indifferent, as if he were describing a trivial matter. I clenched my fists, struggling to control my emotions. Adrian, we're getting married next week. You should know how important that dress is to me. Adrian frowned slightly, impatience creeping into his voice. She'll give it back tomorrow night after the event. It won't delay the wedding at all. Don't be so petty. As soon as he finished speaking, his phone screen lit up. The name Piper was glaringly obvious on the screen. Adrian showed no sign of discomfort. Picking up the phone, he said to me, I don't want to force you. Think about it properly. Then he got up and walked away. The moment the call connected, his cold tone instantly softened. What's wrong? Don't worry. When have I ever broken a promise to you? I guarantee it won't delay your red carpet. Adrian's voice faded into the distance, and my heart grew colder with every step he took. Adrian used to love me very much. He always put me first, unwilling to let me suffer even the slightest grievance, until Piper returned. The once meticulous love was gradually diluted, evaporating bit by bit. Just because Piper had stained her haute couture gown and couldn't attend the wedding-themed fashion gala tomorrow night, Adrian, at this critical juncture a week before our wedding, ordered me to lend her my wedding dress. Such blatant bias. He didn't care about my feelings at all. Sadness piled up and expanded inside me. I looked at the man leaning against the window in the distance, talking on the phone with a gentle demeanor. Suddenly, I felt that 7 years of affection had turned into mere weariness. It was time to let go. So when Adrian finished his call and returned to his seat, I discreetly wiped a tear from the corner of my eye. Have you thought it through? His voice was still cold, but I didn't care anymore. Yeah, I've thought it through. I nodded, the corners of my lips lifting slightly. She's just borrowing a dress, not a husband. I'm not that petty. Adrian paused while drinking his tea, looking at me with an unreadable expression. Seeing no reaction from me, he breathed a subtle sigh of relief. What nonsense are you talking about? She wouldn't be that inconsiderate. I smiled but said nothing. He said, Piper wouldn't. The implication was, as long as Piper made it clear she liked him, he would abandon me without hesitation. In his heart, Piper was far more important than I, his fiancée, ever was. 6 days before the wedding, Piper came to the house with Adrian to pick up the dress. She beamed at me the moment she saw me, like a delicate flower, but her words carried a strong scent of manipulation. I'm so sorry, Serena. My dress got dirty so suddenly, and there wasn't time to borrow another haute couture gown. I had decided not to walk the red carpet, but Adrian insisted that since it's my first red carpet after returning, it's vital for my acting career here. I have to outshine everyone and make a splash, so I have to trouble you. Thanks to your generosity and understanding, I don't even know how to thank you. She said thank you, but I heard no gratitude in her voice. Just as I was about to speak, Adrian's indifferent voice came from behind me. Just focus on your appearance on the red carpet. It's such a small thing. No need for thanks. I frowned. I turned back and looked coldly at Adrian. He froze for a second, then immediately put his arm around my shoulder. I meant that our Serena is the most considerate and generous person. She definitely wouldn't mind such small matters. This was Adrian's usual tactic, always making decisions on his own. After upsetting me, he would smooth things over, putting me on a pedestal so I couldn't easily fall out with him. In the past, I would feel both angry and helpless in these situations. Now I understood that making decisions for me without asking was simply a lack of love and respect. So this time, I didn't save face for Adrian at all. I took half a step back to avoid his embrace, my expression cold. Take the dress and go. I'm not feeling well and need to rest. I won't see you out. Adrian seemingly hadn't expected the usually docile me to be cold to him in front of an outsider. His brows furrowed slightly, hinting at displeasure. He didn't even ask where I wasn't feeling well. He just released his arm, guiding Piper out with him. Before the door closed, Piper's aggrieved voice drifted in from outside. Adrian, does Serena not like me? Her response was Adrian's cold, heartless voice. That's just her personality. She's not very likable. Don't mind her. My heart stung. Adrian didn't used to talk about me like that. In our 7 years together, almost every corner of my home bore traces of Adrian. I replaced the couple's cushions on the sofa, removed the photo on the desk, took down the fridge magnets bought during our travels. Everything related to Adrian was packed into boxes. Usable items went into the donation bin. Valuable jewelry was sent to auction. The proceeds donated to charity. 7 years is a long time, but severing ties with the past took only half a day. After doing all this, I felt lighter all over. Lying on the sofa looking at my phone, I saw Piper trending for being the first globally to wear that top-tier haute couture wedding dress. As a blessed starlet, getting top-tier resources suggested an impressive background, while netizens speculated she was a wealthy heiress. Top star Julian walked the red carpet in a haute couture suit from the same brand. Sharpied netizens noticed their outfits were the brand's official pairing. During the interview, a reporter asked Julian if he had coordinated with Piper beforehand. As the only son of the wealthy Stone family, Julian narrowed his eyes unabashedly, showing a confused expression. Who? Don't know her. Because of that, don't know her. Both of them topped the trending search. I replayed Julian's interview video and watched Piper's aggrieved expression in the backstage livestream when she heard the news. Unable to hold back a laugh, I gave Julian that suit. It was the suit Adrian was supposed to wear at the wedding. Not long after the trend exploded, Adrian called to confront me. Why did you give my clothes to someone else without permission? How am I supposed to wear clothes someone else has worn? I could almost picture his exasperated face and sneered. Julian will return it after the red carpet. It won't delay the wedding. What are you being so petty about? Those were the words he said to me yesterday. Today, I returned them to him verbatim. Adrian was momentarily speechless, unable to find a retort. At that moment, a wronged voice came through the receiver. Adrian, what should I do? People online are already scolding me for deliberately creating hype and latching onto fame. It was Piper. So the business engagement Adrian mentioned for tonight was keeping Piper company. Adrian breathed heavily, raising his voice. Serena, if you didn't want to lend the dress, you could have told me earlier. You shouldn't have taken revenge on Piper this way. No matter how you look at it, you were wrong. I want you to apologize to Piper immediately. My smile faded, a layer of frost covering my heart. Adrian, do you think I have to marry you? Adrian paused. What do you mean? By the moonlight outside the window, I looked at the brightly lit river bridge in the distance. I felt that the early summer night was chilling to the bone. Adrian, let's break up. Actually, Adrian and I used to love each other very much. When we first met, he was a poor, unknown boy. To save money, he lived in a cold, damp, old rental in the suburbs. To buy me a birthday gift, he wore a heavy mascot costume and handed out flyers at an amusement park for a week, giving me a zircon bracelet. $300. Enough for his living expenses for a week. I felt sorry for his hands, chapped by the cold wind. He felt sorry that my birthday gift was simple, swearing to make something of himself and give me the best gifts in the world. Later, after he achieved success and fame, he indeed gave me many valuable jewels, but no amount of gifts could stop him from lying about a business trip to pick up Piper from the airport. Missing my birthday. That night, I saw the back of a man in a black custom suit in a photo on Piper's Weibo. The ruby cufflinks on his wrists were exquisite and eye-catching. They were the anniversary gift I gave Adrian last year. I didn't cry or make a scene. I sat on the bed all night, until the next morning, when Adrian knocked on my door, travel-worn, and hugged me guiltily. Serena, I missed you so much. Happy birthday. The belated birthday gift was an exquisite diamond brooch. Expensive, but the style was old-fashioned. And the pink diamond necklace he had hidden in the study drawer was shown off by Piper in the center of a pile of gifts last night. Adrian had changed the gift at the last minute, as if signaling that in just one short night, his heart had changed. Later I learned that Piper was his white moonlight from high school. Due to family changes, she went abroad in her sophomore year. That unrequited love ended without a start, and in 7 years, Adrian never mentioned Piper's name to me once. I spent a month accepting reality. 6 days before the wedding, I proposed a breakup, but Adrian thought I was joking. Enough, Serena. Jealousy should have limits. In the few seconds of silence, footsteps could be heard through the receiver, until Piper's complaints were no longer in the background noise. Adrian slowed his tone, speaking to me with an attitude of great benevolence. It was inconsiderate of me. I shouldn't have asked you to lend the dress to Piper, but what you did was also wrong, so we're even. Saying this, he sighed, as if helpless and troubled. I'll make time to go with you to try on wedding dresses in the next couple of days. The wedding will proceed as planned. Don't mention breaking up again. He was certain I was just speaking out of anger and couldn't bear to break up with him. I inexplicably wanted to laugh. I didn't know where Adrian got his confidence. He said he would accompany me to try on dresses, but Adrian couldn't spare any time for me. Piper gained a wave of fans based on her red carpet look. It also made more people pay attention to her background, speculating that she intentionally leached off Julian's popularity. It gave her a faint trend of black-red fame through notoriety. To appease her, Adrian bought her a favorite gemstone necklace at a high price and gave her several scripts to choose from. I wouldn't have paid attention to this, but I couldn't escape a certain gossip-loving and chatty Julian. Julian sent me several pieces of gossip news about Adrian and Piper in a row. Popular starlet suspected romance exposed. Mysterious boyfriend picks up and drops off in luxury car. Actress surnamed C meets mysterious man at night. The two enter and exit together intimately. In every video, Adrian's face was mosaicked. A little inquiry revealed that this gossip news was released under Piper's instructions, mosaicing his face for fear of angering Adrian. Adrian couldn't not know. He just indulged her blindly. After sending these, Julian satirized me quite rudely. Teacher Serena, your standards for writing songs and picking clothes are very high, but your taste in men is really poor. I didn't comment. I sent him the lyrics I just finished. After Julian received the file, the screen kept showing typing, but after a long time, there was no follow-up. When preparing for the wedding, Adrian was afraid of tiring me out. Except for our wedding attire, all other preparations were handled by a professional team. You just need to be responsible for being the most beautiful bride. I guarantee everything else will match your aesthetic, making you the happiest woman in the world. Recalling those words now, I only felt they were hypocritical and ironic. I wasn't good at socializing and didn't have many friends. Therefore, most of the wedding guests were Adrian's business friends. I only invited Director Thompson. For this, I made a special trip back to the orphanage. I told her the news that the wedding was cancelled and I broke up with Adrian. She was silent for a while, then gently hugged me. Child, life doesn't have many 7 years. Since you've made a decision, don't look back. Walk forward boldly. Whichever path you choose, the director supports you. She was the one who raised me. She witnessed the entire process of Adrian and me meeting, understanding, loving, and breaking up. I didn't cry when I found out Adrian lied to me. I didn't cry when Adrian ordered me to lend the wedding dress. But in front of my closest elder, I finally couldn't help but shed tears. Life doesn't have many 7 years. Adrian occupied almost my entire youth. Actually, if he couldn't forget Piper, he could have told me earlier. I'm not someone who clings. I would have let go. He shouldn't have been reluctant to lose my companionship while missing Piper, far away abroad, in the warmth I provided, wasting my years, unworthy of my affection. I was in a bad mood on the way back. I specially went to a hotel to pack a dessert. Leaving, I ran heading into Adrian and Piper. I froze for a moment, quickly averting my gaze. I didn't stop my steps. Unexpectedly, as we passed each other, Adrian grabbed my arm, his brow furrowed slightly, explaining anxiously, Serena, Piper just came back and has no backing. I was worried she'd be bullied at the dinner, so I accompanied her. That's all. Please don't misunderstand. He should have been my backing. At this moment, even though I had mentioned breaking up, he still chose Piper without hesitation, not letting Piper suffer even a little grievance. Such favoritism made me feel a sudden annoyance. I slapped his hand away, my voice flat. It doesn't matter. President Yale doesn't need to report what he does to me. To Adrian's ears, this turned into me being jealous and unreasonable again. Mindful of the crowd around us, he forcibly dragged me aside. All right, being jealous for 2 days is enough. Any more is being disobedient. I've arranged for the dress fitting tomorrow. Get up early. I'll pick you up. I turned my head to avoid his hand about to touch my hair, suppressing my disgust, and said in a low voice, I'm flying to Hong Kong tomorrow. No time. A salon within the industry would be held in Hong Kong the day after tomorrow. I had received the invitation half a month ago, because the event date was close to the wedding date. I had been hesitating whether to go. Now that I proposed a breakup, there was no reason to hesitate anymore. Adrian knew about this. His eyes darkened, and he lowered his voice to question me. Serena, we're getting married this weekend. How important is your work? You insist on going to Hong Kong at this critical juncture. Do you have a heart? I looked up, my gaze sweeping over Piper, who looked nervous behind him. Do you have the right to question me? Adrian froze for a moment. He took half a step forward aggressively, but Piper grabbed his arm. She maintained that considerate appearance, softly persuading Adrian. Forget it, Adrian. If Serena is busy with work, I can help her try on the wedding dress. Her dress fit me very well last time. I believe I can help this time. After speaking, she glanced at me smugly. Unexpectedly, Adrian didn't blame her but looked at me silently, trying to threaten me into staying obediently and not going to Hong Kong this way. Serena, don't be willful. This scene was truly laughable. Adrian didn't believe I could bear to break up, insisting on holding the wedding on his own accord. Piper pretended to be magnanimous, but actually clung to Adrian every step, ignoring the fact that he had a fiancée. Quite a match. The more I looked at them, the more they suited each other. Anyway, I had already proposed a breakup. Who tries on the dress? Who marries Adrian? I don't care. In the end, I won't be the one embarrassed. So I smiled at Adrian, tone indifferent. I have no objection. Do as you please. 4 days before the wedding, I set off for Hong Kong. After boarding, I discovered Julian was in the seat next to me. He was wearing sunglasses, leaning back in his chair, appearing to catch up on sleep. I hesitated and didn't wake him. Surprisingly, he slept a lot. He didn't wake up until the plane landed. At that time, I had just turned on my phone to check my social feed. I saw Piper posted a 9-grid photo set of trying on wedding dresses. You say you like every one. Which one should I choose? Posted 20 minutes ago, but not a single like. I guessed it was visible only to me. For some reason, I gave her a like. Almost simultaneously, Adrian sent me a message. You should be off the plane by now. Hurry up and pick a set. He sent several photos of Piper in wedding dresses. Whether intentional or not, every photo Adrian took only showed up to Piper's neck, not revealing her face. I couldn't be bothered to open the pictures. Replied, as long as you like it. The next second, a low voice suddenly came from beside me. He treats you like this, and you still want to marry him. It scared me so much I shivered. Looking back, I met Julian's dark, deep eyes. I breathed a sigh of relief, patted my chest, and steadied my voice. I won't marry him. Julian looked at me suspiciously for a good while before relaxing his expression and putting his sunglasses back on. That's right. Men are like that. Out with the old, in with the new. The cabin door opened. Julian pushed me off the plane, voice cheerful. Let's go. Teacher Serena, since you're in Hong Kong, I'm hosting, treating you to a happy breakup feast. Julian's mother was from Hong Kong. Hong Kong was considered half his hometown. He took me to a restaurant at Victoria Peak. The magnificent night view of Hong Kong was in full view. I watched entranced. Like it. I turned back to see Julian's smiling eyes staring at me unblinkingly. Behind him was a sky full of stars. In the distance, neon lights flickered. I suddenly remembered those famous lines from Fragment, and my heart trembled involuntarily. I like it. Thank you. Good. Not a wasted trip. Julian's smile curled, changing from his sharp image on stage. He raised his glass and swirled the champagne. Serena, since you've escaped the sea of suffering, don't look back. Wishing you a bright future, shining and high-spirited. I was in a trance for a moment. He said the same thing as Director Thompson. I once thought that after 7 years with Adrian, having weathered so many storms together, our future love would only be tighter and stronger. But reality slapped me hard in the face. During the month I made the decision to break up. I struggled, doubted, and regretted, afraid of being mocked, afraid that 7 years of effort would be easily negated. But neither Director Thompson nor Julian dwelt on my past. They simply wished my future well out of kindness. Director Thompson was my family. As for Julian, I considered myself not close to him. He was the favored son of heaven surrounded by stars. I was at best a work partner appreciated by him. But looking at it now, Julian had long treated me as a good friend. Emotion and guilt spread simultaneously. I raised my glass, tears in my smile. Julian, thank you. The car stopped at the hotel entrance. I suddenly remembered something. Did you look at the lyrics I gave you the day before yesterday? Do you want them? Speaking of work, Julian and I were old partners. Back then, he hid from his family to break into the entertainment industry. No background, couldn't get good resources. I wasn't famous. Writing lyrics was cheap. He didn't mind. On the contrary, he liked them very much. I wrote all 10 songs for Julian's first album. That year, he returned from the Golden Melody Awards with a full load. I was also lucky enough to win awards. Rising with his tide, perhaps due to mutual appreciation. Later we formed a habit. Finished works would be sent to the other for a look. If he wanted it, he'd keep it and compose. If not, I'd find someone else. So that day after writing the lyrics, I sent them to Julian immediately. But 2 days passed, and he didn't reply a word. Now face to face, I found his expression didn't look too good. He kept a straight face looking at me for a few seconds, then suddenly spoke. Teacher Serena, giving me a breakup love song to sing. Isn't it a bit too bitter? Huh? I was a bit confused. It wasn't like he hadn't sung sad love songs before. but thinking that he was just celebrating my happy breakup, I suddenly felt a bit embarrassed. It is a bit bitter. It's normal you don't like it. I'll ask someone else. Mid-sentence, Julian interrupted me. What's given to me is mine. But, pausing, he sighed and leaned in close. Teacher Serena, write a sweet one again. You can write it. I know. My breath hitched. I could hear that Julian wasn't just asking me for lyrics. He hoped I would walk out of the gloom as soon as possible and find happiness again. He was very close, his eyes dark and bright. I could almost see my own reflection in his pupils. After hesitation, doubt, and cowardice, my brows gradually curved, revealing a confident smile. Okay, I promise you. The salon was held the next afternoon. Many seniors in the industry attended. The organizer of the event was a sharp, free-spirited, and radiant woman. I liked her very much. After several mental preparations, I hid my introverted nature and mustered the courage to ask for her contact information. The event ended 3 hours later. Leaving the venue, I saw Julian waiting at the door. He nodded and smiled at me, then raised his hand, saying to the person behind me, "You didn't bully our teacher Serena, did you?" I turned back to see Eva walking closer in high heels. Smiling, she gently stroked my arm, then unceremoniously swung her fist onto Julian's shoulder. "You specifically instructed me. How would I bully her?" Julian accepted the punch with a grin, then affectionately put his arm around Eva's shoulder. Eva didn't pull away, looking back at me gently. "If teacher Serena isn't busy, have dinner with us siblings." Only then did I know that Eva was Julian's cousin. The salon invitation I received was also sent to me by Eva at Julian's behest. I was moved. "Julian, thank you. Let me give you a gift." Julian's eyes lit up. "Will you give me whatever I like?" I nodded, attitude sincere. Whatever you like. With my current income, as long as it wasn't a luxury car or mansion, I could afford anything else." But Julian stopped talking, just staring straight at me with a pair of moist eyes, until I felt uncomfortable all over. Eva coughed lightly. "All right, discuss the gift privately later." Pausing, she asked me gently, "Serena, I'm getting married tomorrow. Can you stay in Hong Kong one more day to attend my wedding?" I froze. Wedding tomorrow, working today. No wonder I liked Eva. Feeling she shone brightly, even her smile had power. Looking back at myself, when I received the salon invitation, I clearly wanted to attend, but because the event time was 3 days before the wedding, I hesitated and consumed myself internally. Only after telling Adrian about the breakup did I buy the ticket to Hong Kong. Compared to the people I liked and admired, I ultimately lacked a lot of firmness and, or perhaps, 7 years of affection made me overly reliant on Adrian, made me ignore that I actually possessed a career I liked and took pride in. I was also satisfied with the value and emotional affirmation my work brought me. A mature and healthy relationship should be the icing on the cake of life, not like me, neglecting one thing for another, forgetting my original intention. I pursed my lips, putting away the bitterness in my heart, feeling inspired inside, asked Eva cautiously, "Is it really okay?" Eva smiled brightly. "Of course, I like you, and I believe we will become good friends in the future, so I hope to receive your blessing." My eyes moistened. No stinging. In the 7 years with Adrian, I seem to have poured my whole heart onto him. I haven't had a new friend for a very, very long time. Hong Kong weddings emphasize grandeur. The Stone family was a top wealthy family in Hong Kong, and Eva's wedding was exceptionally grand and solemn. Figures usually only seen in financial evening news were all present. Reporters and cameramen with invitations hanging around their necks shuttled through. I didn't know anyone else, so Eva entrusted Julian to take care of me. He was dutiful, guarding me every step of the way. He also turned slightly sideways when the camera turned over, blocking the lens for me. I smiled. "It's okay." Julian frowned slightly, lowering his voice to confirm with me. "No, you'll be scolded." The day after tomorrow was my wedding with Adrian. Although I proposed a breakup, Adrian didn't believe it and delayed issuing a statement canceling the wedding. Once images of me attending a wedding in Hong Kong alone and inseparable from Julian got out, online discussion would be inevitable. Often at times like this, people don't care about the truth, only interpreting pictures. I would be the only one scolded, not Adrian. That's why Julian blocked the camera for me. But my proposal to break up was a fact. Adrian not believing it was his stupidity. Why should I cover up the fact that I attended a good friend's wedding for a fool? Moreover, Julian was standing beside me. He wasn't afraid of being scolded. What was I afraid of? Seeing my resolute attitude, Julian suddenly smiled. He stood back, muttering to himself, "Then I have to find Eva later and tell the media to pick good-looking photos to publish." Don't let them publish those ugly ones blindly and ruin my image. While speaking, he shifted half a step towards me imperceptibly. I held back a laugh, thinking that after so many years, Julian still hadn't changed his vanity, but turning my head, I realized Julian was very close. Close enough that I could clearly see the small shadow cast by his eyelashes, like butterfly wings, fluttering. Just as I was looking intently, Julian suddenly turned his head, raising an eyebrow with a smile. Am I good-looking? I abruptly shifted my gaze, feeling like a voyeur. My heart beat fast. A crack quietly appeared in a frozen, silent place, letting in clear sunlight. I returned to North City at noon the next day, turned on the internet after the plane landed, only to find myself trending. Hong Kong media released photos of guests at Eva's wedding, including several of Julian and me. Fortunately, Julian wasn't an idol. His fans didn't reject me. They blindly praised Julian for being handsome and me for being beautiful. Looking forward to Julian releasing a new album soon and us collaborating more. How to put it? Fans resemble their idol. The fans were just like him. Beautiful handsome people with kind hearts. But escaping Julian's fans didn't mean escaping the general netizens. They condemned me for not taking the wedding seriously, failing Adrian's affection. When the trend was about to squeeze into the top 5, a gossip account released a video of Adrian accompanying Piper to try on wedding dresses. Unlike before, this time Adrian's face wasn't mosaicked. Instead, it was exceptionally high definition. Even his smile when he leaned in close to Piper's ear to help her put on a necklace was captured clearly. The spearhead of public opinion turned. It turned out to be CEO Yale cheats before marriage disregarding male virtue. Serena leaves for Hong Kong heartbroken. The gossip account's title was no less exaggerated than Hong Kong media. This article occupied the top of the trending list as soon as it was published. While netizens pitted me and cursed Adrian and Piper, enthusiastic netizens exposed their deeds from high school. Everyone in our class knew Adrian liked Piper. If Piper hadn't gone abroad, Serena wouldn't have had a chance later. Crying to death. Separated for 10 years. Returned still loving you. This is pure love. Bullshit pure love. Cheating is cheating. Don't use that white moonlight returning crap to sound dignified and cover up the fact that he's a scumbag. Even if there was ambiguity before, knowing someone has a fiancé should mean keeping a distance. Adults can't lack even this bit of propriety, right? Heard the wedding dress Piper wore on the red carpet last week was originally Serena's wedding dress. Adrian is scum. Lending this to Piper. No wonder the last-minute fitting. Turns out the wedding dress was worn. Hee. Serena is truly miserable. Life doesn't have many 7 years. While I was relishing the arguments in the comments, Adrian called. His voice was anxious, telling me the airport was full of reporters waiting for me, asking me to follow the staff through the VIP channel out of the airport. But some reporters still got wind of it. When I reached the parking lot, many reporters were already waiting. Adrian protected me getting into the car, but was surrounded by reporters himself. Mr. Yale, have you and Serena broken up? Will tomorrow's wedding proceed as usual? What exactly is your relationship with Piper? Do you really like her? Did you know about Serena going to Hong Kong with Julian? What's your view on this? Surrounded by long lenses and microphones, Adrian looked frosty. He grabbed the reporter who suspected him of cheating, gritting his teeth. The wedding will proceed as usual. I love Serena. We won't break up. Piper is just my friend. I didn't cheat. After speaking, he squeezed into the car with the help of bodyguards, slamming the door shut with a bang, isolating all the noise. Adrian hadn't been treated so rudely in many years. After getting in the car, he kept a cold face, saying nothing, watching his exasperated appearance coldly. I couldn't help laughing out loud. Adrian turned his head abruptly, frowning, wanting to speak but stopping. I couldn't be bothered with him, facing the window, closing my eyes to rest, until the car turned into the residential area, stopping steadily in the underground parking lot. I unbuckled the seatbelt. My hand just touched the door when Adrian held it down. He had held back the whole way, and couldn't hold back anymore. Serena, believe me, I really didn't cheat. Looking at his nervous and helpless appearance, I suddenly felt like teasing a dog. Did you sleep with her? Adrian shook his head, attitude resolute. No. Hugged her then. He froze for a moment, not speaking. Probably kissed too. Right. Adrian's face went white instantly, lips moving, voice trembling. Serena, I snorted coldly. All of Adrian's answers were within my expectations. He could still righteously guarantee to me that he didn't cheat because he still kept the lowest moral bottom line in his cognition. Didn't roll in the sheets with Piper. But physical cheating isn't the only betrayal. Adrian's previous behaviors had already shown that the scale called love in his heart had long tilted towards Piper. In front of facts, all explanations were exceptionally pale. Adrian, this is quite pointless, just say it if you like Piper, why entangle with me? Adrian seemed to have his tail stepped on suddenly, grabbing my arm relentlessly. What about you? How come I didn't know you knew Eva, and are so close with Julian? He stared at me dead on, determined to find 1,000 faults in me. I can guarantee I didn't cheat. Can you? Slap. A clear, loud slap sounded in the car. I was trembling with anger. Adrian, don't think of me as disgusting as you. Adrian turned his head, breathing heavily. After a long while, he looked up, his eyes flashing with confusion and regret. I'm sorry, Serena. I'm sorry. Maybe I did many wrong things before. It was my fault. We're getting married tomorrow. After tomorrow, let's never separate for a lifetime. Okay. Watching him mutter like he was possessed, I felt even more annoyed. Unfortunately, the door was central locked. I couldn't open it. During the dispute, Adrian's phone lit up. He subconsciously glanced at me, and after a little hesitation, answered the call. The next second, his face changed drastically. Piper slit her wrist. I have to go to her. You must be tired from traveling for days. Go back and rest well. Be the most beautiful bride tomorrow. I laughed in anger, immediately pushed the door open and got out, entering the elevator without looking back, perhaps out of guilt. Adrian actively sent messages to explain in the afternoon. Piper couldn't stand the cyberbullying and slit her wrist to commit suicide. She has no family in the country, only me as a friend. I can't ignore her. Serena, I promise it won't delay tomorrow's wedding. Please don't be mad. Okay. At that time I was writing another song promised to Julian, but my mind was empty. Sat in front of the computer for over an hour, couldn't write a single line. Already annoyed to death, seeing Adrian's insane message made me even more annoyed. Simply threw the phone, buried myself in the quilt to sleep, until the sun set and night fell. I was woken up by phone vibrations. Julian sent several WeChat messages in a row. Didn't want to disgust you, but afraid you'd be soft-hearted. Still have to give you a jab. Asked the nurse. Just a small cut. Would have healed if arrived half an hour later. Making such a big fuss like a life was lost. Pretentious as hell. Followed by several photos in the ward. Piper looked haggard, crying pitifully. Adrian fed her water, tucked her in, wiped her tears. In the last photo, they embraced on the hospital bed, kissing deeply, selflessly, simply an eyesore. I regretted opening the pictures. For a moment didn't know how to reply to Julian. While hesitating, Julian called directly, voice nervous, anxious. Did you see my message? Are you angry? Not replying to me. Angry at what? I didn't understand his meaning for a moment, so I asked the question in my heart first. Why did you go to the hospital? Are you sick? Clearly was lively at the wedding in Hong Kong yesterday. Silence on the other end for a few seconds, long enough that I started suspecting the call was disconnected. Julian suddenly spoke. Yeah, feeling a bit unwell. So could teacher Serena condescend to accompany me for dinner? Hearing this tone, I knew Julian was joking. After getting in the car, this thought was confirmed. After being glared at by me, Julian burst out laughing. I'm fine. Went to the hospital just to visit a friend. Didn't expect to coincidentally run into that drama queen pair. Who the drama queens were went without saying. I smiled, not angry. Just then the phone screen lit up. Piper sent me a photo. A man, bare-chested, sleeping peacefully on the pillow. Clear dark red scratch marks on his shoulders and back revealed what an intense lovemaking session he just experienced. Quite laughable. No matter how dignified Adrian spoke, he still lost to primitive desire. Breaking the final bottom line. Piper, he gives me whatever I want. He doesn't like you at all. Why do you insist on marrying him? Suppressing nausea, I saved the picture, replied to her. Then you marry him. It happened to be a red light. Julian glimpsed my screen from the corner of his eye. Expression worried. Are you okay? I med, thinking he looked a bit cute being nervous like this. Don't worry. I expected his betrayal long ago. I'm immune. Then why the frown? I smiled bitterly, explaining my bad mood wasn't because of Adrian. Purely lacking creative inspiration. Couldn't write lyrics. Hearing this, Julian's tension gradually dissipated. I'll take you somewhere. Green light. He turned the car around, driving towards the other end of the city. Half an hour later, the SUV stopped at West Mountain. He skillfully took a camping tent from the trunk. After setting it up, he sat on the camping chair, patted the spot beside him, and handed me an opened beer. Serena, I invite you to watch the sunrise together. My heart suddenly soured. Actually before I suggested watching the sunrise to Adrian many times, but he rejected them all. At first, he said time was tight and used for making money, no time to accompany me. Later, when his career took off, he said the mountains weren't safe at night. I had no friends, couldn't ask anyone I trusted. This matter dragged on until the breakup. Even less expected that the first sunrise in my life would be with Julian. Julian, thank you. Those days in Hong Kong too. You kept helping and taking care of me. I don't know how to express my gratitude. Stars twinkled behind Julian. His eyes were also filled with stars. Serena, I hope one day you won't have to say thank you to me. I froze for a moment, belatedly realized something, but adults have tacit understanding. Neither said it out loud. The night sky was beautiful, the mountains cold, wrapped in a blanket. Seeing him only in a windbreaker in the cold wind, I couldn't bear it. Do you want to join? Your blanket is quite big. Should be enough for two. Julian looked at me expressionlessly for a good while, seeming to scrutinize something. When I couldn't hold back and wanted to explain, Julian suddenly leaned in, opening his arms to spread the blanket. The blanket draped over both of us. Julian embraced me. The time waiting for sunrise was boring and long, but when the first ray of sunlight spilled into the eyes, all waiting and effort were worth it. In the orangered sky, Julian smiled and said to me, Serena, it doesn't matter if you can't write the song promised to me for a while. You can write slowly, no matter how long. I'm willing to wait. Tears in my eyes. Julian, I'll try harder, not let you wait too long. Adrian's POV. On the wedding day, Adrian was late. When sending Piper home last night, she tugged at Adrian's sleeve. Adrian, I can hear countless voices scolding me as soon as I close my eyes. I'm scared. Can you stay with me? Adrian glimpsed the clearly visible red marks on her wrist, suddenly softened. Everything that happened later that night came naturally. Adrian forgot what he said to Serena in the car during the day, broke the last bottom line regarded as self-discipline. Early the next morning, when Adrian was woken by his assistant's call, only 2 hours remained until the wedding ceremony. He scrambled out of Piper's bed in a panic. After repeatedly telling her to stay home and not go out today, he rushed to the wedding venue at maximum speed, arriving only to find Serena hadn't come. Phone calls didn't go through, WeChat messages unreplied. Adrian finally started to panic. He pretended to be calm, comforting himself. Serena might just be stuck in traffic. Phone happened to run out of battery. Thinking this, he changed into his suit, did his hair, everything ready, waiting for her by the window. But until half an hour past the ceremony time, guests clamoring, Serena never appeared. Adrian was going crazy. He turned, only to see Piper standing at the door wearing a wedding dress, looking at him with wet eyes, appearing charming and pitiful. Adrian, Serena failed you. She doesn't deserve you. I have no family in the country. I came back just to see you. You know I like you. If you're willing, I'm willing to quit the industry and marry you. Adrian's eyes were icy, decisive. I'm not willing. He raised his hand, taking the diamond crown off her hair. That was the gift he spent a fortune auctioning back from Europe after Serena accepted his proposal. Adrian's gaze fell on the crown, voice seeping chill. Without my permission, don't touch Serena's things. Piper was a bit surprised, trying to pull Adrian's coat corner, avoided by Adrian with disgust. He stared at Piper, feeling a dislike for her he never had before, clearly told her to stay home. She insisted on going out, even wearing Serena's wedding dress, delusional about marrying him. Adrian remembered the dispute between him and Serena, suddenly felt Piper was the culprit. If only Piper hadn't come back, Adrian thought silently, then Serena wouldn't be angry, so angry she wouldn't even attend the wedding. It's all Piper's fault. I was woken by urgent knocking, checked the time on my phone, only to realize I forgot to charge it after coming home in the morning. It shut down long ago. Rubbed my head, plugged the phone in, then went to open the door. Pushing the door open, found Adrian standing outside with a grim face. He wore a sharp white suit, hair meticulous, looked like he just came from the wedding. Seeing my half-awake appearance, Adrian's chest heaved, voice squeezed out from between teeth. Serena, do you know today is our wedding? Old tune, very boring. I yawned, a bit impatient. I told you a week ago we broke up. What wedding? Adrian's pupils constricted, suddenly raising his voice. What breakup? I didn't agree. If you feel aggrieved lending the dress to Piper, you can argue with me, make a scene. Why propose a breakup over such a small thing? What do you take our 7-year relationship for? How can you discard it at will? Very ironic. The perpetrator hysterical, trying to cover his crimes, pushing all blame on me, but I didn't accept it. Adrian, the person who betrayed this relationship first was you, not me. Adrian stiffened his neck, refuting clearly. I didn't. I sneered, said to him, wait, then closed the door, went back to the room to get the phone. Coming back, I opened the door, handed the phone to Adrian. See for yourself. Adrian took the phone frowning. Expression froze instantly. I showed him Piper's friends-only post from before, and last night's bed photo. Serena. He trembled, wanting to touch my hand, brushed away by me with disgust. Adrian, if it weren't for 7 years together, I would have broken up the night you missed my birthday and lied about a business trip. Adrian's face paled, afraid to look into my eyes. I sighed, continued, the sunk cost of 7 years is high. I needed to know where this relationship went wrong. The result is clear. I acted upright with a clear conscience. The only person deceiving and betraying from beginning to end was you. You clearly had feelings for Piper, yet were reluctant to break up with me, eating from the bowl while looking at the pot. Feudal dross is nothing more than this. Adrian, you mistreated me, owed me, you are trash. Adrian swayed, trembling. He held that diamond crown before my eyes, opening his mouth, tears falling with voice. I'm sorry, Serena, I was wrong. Hit me, scold me, I accept it all. We loved each other so much before. Can you not give up this relationship? He cried until his eyes were red. My heart remained calm. No. I pushed him away a distance, voice cold. Adrian, you should remember what I said when I accepted your confession. At that time I said, if I love I want 100 love. If you can't give it to me, I'd rather not have it. Voice falling. Adrian's hand dropped weakly. He swayed, retreated a few steps weakly, slumping against the wall behind him, said what needed to be said. I lowered my eyes, closing the door without lingering. I yawned, preparing to return to the room to catch up on sleep. The bathroom door opened. Julian with a bird's nest head, left hand holding a blanket, right hand carrying sneakers, standing at the bathroom door, looking at me with a face full of grievance and innocence. Only then did I remember, when Julian sent me back in the morning, I saw he was extremely sleepy too, worried about fatigue driving, so let him stay home to sleep. Slept confused just now, actually forgot about this. You, why did you hide in the bathroom, holding so many things? He sniffled, voice aggrieved. Adrian's broken throat shouted with the momentum of several people alone. I didn't know if reporters followed him, afraid of being photographed something shouldn't be, then you'd be scolded by netizens again. Julian's eyes were very beautiful, plus this aggrieved expression, lively like an aggrieved puppy. I smiled looking away, gaze sweeping the clock on the wall. Do you want to sleep some more? Julian put the blanket on the sofa, rubbed his head. Nah, hungry, voice falling. My stomach growled too. We left at the same time, walking into the kitchen together. Suddenly a loud bang came from outside. Through the window, I saw a Maybach crashed into the flower bed. The reporters who followed Adrian swarmed, dragging him out of the driver's seat, his forehead bleeding, arm hanging weakly, unconscious. Adrian fractured his arm, hospitalized for half a month. During this half month, news of him and Piper flooded the internet. Piper's image was greatly damaged. Directors and investors Adrian originally introduced to her avoided her like the plague. No production side was willing to accept her anymore. Heard Piper had no way out, went to the hospital to beg Adrian, but Adrian wouldn't see her at all. The day Adrian was discharged, called wanting to see me. I didn't agree. That afternoon, I received a package. It was that full diamond antique crown. Julian arrived at the same time as the package. Seeing me staring at the crown in a trance, he asked weirdly, Teacher Serena, good looking? Seeing him fuming with jealousy, I shook my head quickly. Not good looking. I stuffed the crown back into the box, then contacted the auction house staff to pick it up later, auctioning it for money along with the pile of stuff Adrian gave before, for charity. After tidying up, I asked Julian, why did you come over suddenly? Is something wrong? He stared at me with that aggressive expression just now. Serena, do you remember you owe me a gift? I remembered the promise made to him in front of Eva in Hong Kong. I remember. Julian raised an eyebrow. You said then whatever I wanted, you'd give. Does it still count? It counts. Julian suddenly smiled. Then a kiss. Will you give it? I felt a numbness in my heart, breathing disordered, subconsciously closed my eyes tight, but waited for a long time. The expected thing didn't happen. Only a gentle kiss landed on the forehead. I opened my eyes in confusion, meeting Julian's cunning, smiling eyes. The next second, he held the back of my neck, leaning in close, with a strong, entangled breath, kissing long and intoxicated. Later I finished the song promised to Julian, different from other songs. This was my anniversary gift to Julian. Years later, Julian and I stood side by side on the Golden Melody Award stage again, his eyes flowing, smiling telling me, how fortunate, to let me like you, Teacher Serena.